musical in the West End had so much hype and so much secrecy surrounding it before it opened late last year. There was particularly a lot of mystery about how they were going to bring Paddington to life, but now it's opened and now I've seen it, I'm going to share my thoughts with you. I'm going to break it down into chapters, so if there's a specific part of the show that you are interested in, you'll be able to find timestamps in the description. But I'm going to cover things like the cast, the set, the music, etc. So the very first thing I noticed about this show, before the show even started, once I got to my seat, was the set. The set is absolutely gorgeous, stunning. I'm sure it's going to win awards. But another thing that they did that I absolutely loved was they had projections around the sides of the stage. So you've kind of got your stage here, and then you've got the sides that are like angled out, or towards you it'll be angled like that, and you've got projections on each side, and throughout the show those projections will change depending on what part of the story we're at, and it's really lovely projections. It adds to the magic. It's gorgeous, stunning. As I say, I really think this set will win awards. Another really fun addition is the fact that they have a full-size black cab on stage, and it takes the Brown family from the station to where they're going. I mean, for a show that is centred in London, that is all about London, of course you have to have a full-size black cab. It was just a great addition. Now for the bit that everybody is talking about, the way they brought Paddington to life is part puppetry, part animatronics, and part character skin work. 3 very different skill sets, so well executed by James Hamid, who was the offstage Paddington, and Artie Shah, who is onstage Paddington in the bear suit. The bear suit was designed by Tara Zafar, and I have heard, apparently, I'm not surprised, well, I kind of am surprised, but also I'm not surprised at the same time. Apparently the bear suit cost over £4 million. Over £4 million just for that one character costume. That is insane. I mean, it's just as well the show's doing so well, isn't it? Otherwise they'd be going bankrupt. The collaboration between Artie and James, again, exceptional. The fact that James is the voice of Paddington, but he's off stage and he's controlling the animatronics in Paddington's head, the eyes, the mouth. But Artie, who is in the Paddington costume, has to perfectly embody Paddington, has to embody all of the right things at the right time based on what James is saying. Because it's no good if James is delivering a line to Mrs. Brown and Paddington's looking at Judy, or Paddington's off breaking the bathtub when actually he's supposed to be downstairs at the dinner table. It's such a fantastic collaboration. I would love to see those 2 win awards. I'm not really sure kind of what category that would come under. I'm guessing performer category, but given that it's so tied in with the bear suit and the animatronics of it, I don't know whether it would come under costume, performer, puppetry, so that'll be an interesting one to see for the award shows. But James and Artie definitely need awards for the way they executed Paddington together. A standout moment for me from the cast was the song One of Us at the end of Act 1. It had me so close to tears, and I don't cry. I don't cry at shows, but this had me, I've had shivers. I was like, I do not want the interval to start, the lights come up, and I'm there sobbing, because I just don't really want that. But One of Us, sung by Mrs. Brown, who was played by Amy Ellen Richardson, was absolutely gorgeous, beautifully sang, but also so well acted. That was just such a standout moment for me. Timi Akinyusade brings a gorgeous charm to the show, playing Tony, who is the Brown's daughter's crush / boyfriend. He brings such a lovely bubbly energy and a comforting warmth to the stage, and was just a joy to watch. Hank the Pigeon, who was a puppet in a dustbin, was a fantastic addition, loved it, made me laugh lots. That was played by Ben Redfern, and we do see him at the end, but it's also lovely to watch the friendship that blooms between Hank the Pigeon and Paddington the Bear. Unsurprisingly, Victoria Hamilton Barrett has nailed yet another villain, executed so perfectly, and Bonnie Langford was hilarious as Mrs. Brown. Her solo song was so much fun to watch. Now, here's a fun fact about the casting process. So they had a casting director who casted the show, and they had a children's casting director who casted the children's parts, but then they had Annabelle Davis, who is an actress with dwarfism, also the daughter of Warwick Davis. They put her in charge of casting the role of Paddington, the onstage performer. Now, I find this really interesting and really exciting because obviously, if you don't know already, Paddington is played by an actor with dwarfism, and the alternates and understudies for Paddington are also done by actors with dwarfism, which personally, as a disabled actor myself, I love that. I love that the production company have really understood that actually disabled performers could actually really benefit this production. What better way to get Paddington the size that you want than by casting performers who are the size that you want Paddington to be? So what do? you cast actors with dwarfism. And it excites me even more to know that they put an actor with dwarfism in charge of the casting process as well. For me, it's just another example of how the show has brought disabled performers into the collaboration process and the final result, and actually really listened. Dare I say the part everybody's been waiting for? The soundtrack, written by the fantastic, well-known Tom Fletcher from McFly. It's an absolutely beautiful soundtrack. There are comforting songs, there are exciting songs, there are funny songs. You've got all of these different feelings, all of these different elements in one show's soundtrack, and all of the songs are brilliant. I am so excited for a cast recording. And if I'm not mistaken, the cast recording is set to come out in May this year. So I will be keeping an eye out for May. The story is the classic Paddington story that we all know and love. If you've read the book or you've seen the film, then you know what it's all about. But there was something that I really loved that they did with the stage production. And it's not that they haven't done that with other adaptations, but with the stage production, they really emphasised how London is far from perfect. London has its flaws, its imperfections, London has its things to dislike, but it's also London, and it's the place that so many of us call home, whether it's because we were born here, whether we were raised here, or whether it's because we've moved here. And there's something really charming about that. There are things that I don't like about London, but London is my home and I will always have a soft spot for it. And I think the show portrayed that really well. Put simply, Paddington is a love letter to London about a South American immigrant and all of the reasons why London is so much better off with this South American immigrant in it. Paddington is not a news story, but the stage musical on the West End is, and it feels so perfectly timed given all of this anti-immigration rhetoric that's going on in the UK. This gorgeous stage production is such an important and wholesome reminder as to why London is and always has been so much better off with immigrants in the city. It also shows us what can happen if we just welcome people, if we're just kind, because it doesn't really cost us anything. And actually, when you watch the show, you realise that by being kind to Paddington, their lives have changed. Some ways, it's got more complicated, but overall their lives have changed and become so much better. The daughter's relationship with her mother has improved. The son has learned to embrace his encyclopedia, quite literally, of knowledge. The father has learned to not be quite so terrified of risk. And the mum, she really gets to embrace being a mum. Her relationship with her daughter is improved. Paddington recently had an extension until 2027, which is so exciting. I won't be surprised if it does get another extension simply because of how well it is doing. There are lots of people, from what I know, revisiting the show. I think it will be a show that collects a cult following. It appeals to such a wide audience. You've got families of young children, you've got adults who just love Paddington, you've got theatre goers who just love a good musical. There are so many different types of people that this show appeals to, and I think it's going to be, I mean, it's only February, but I think Paddington the Musical is going to be one of the most talked about shows of 2026. Now let me know in the comments, have you seen Paddington? And if not, would you like to? If you have, what did you think of it? If you liked this video, please hit subscribe and give this video a like. It really helps me out. I post weekly on a Sunday afternoon. I post theatre reviews, theatre chats, vlogs, and everything you could possibly think of that involves theatre in some shape or form. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the review.